Hey, welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast where we sit around talking about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Tim. No, you're Tim. Shit.
How do you fuck that up?
It's been a long day.
It's been a
been a
couple
really
of
long
weeks
day.
too. We're out of practice.
Fuck.
So he's
Nope.
been.
Yep.
Hey, is this our 6th episode? I forgot to update our information.
Are we at
on
60?
Twitch.
I have no idea anymore.
I don't
Wow.
remember. I just upped the number by 1, so I think we're
Sure.
right. Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tim.
Right. And we're
He's the
Critters in
Gauchon. I'm the
Taiwan.
Taichung. Yeah.
We're in Taiwan. Yay. Hey, welcome to episode number 6. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
presumably. We'll have to check that later, but yeah, we'll edit this out. It's fine.
Sure we will. So some quick housekeeping stuff. If you're new to Critical Role, go back and watch campaign 1 and campaign 2 and campaign 3 before watching this, because we're all spoilers all the time about everything. So every spoiler about every single thing that's going to happen.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Wasn't there another one?
I don't know.
No, I don't remember. Again, it's been 2 weeks. Fuck, man, we're out of practice.
How was your Thanksgiving? Do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving up in Taichung?
Well, it's my favorite holiday, but we do a little bands miss thing where the band members and their families, etc., and anybody who has a date,
right.
you know, we go over, and all the guys cook, and all the girls, they all talk to each other.
Right on.
You know, like
Sounds
we're all
like
Western and they're all, you know, Taiwanese, so they get to Taiwanese it up, you know.
All right.
But we usually do
enough,
it around
fair
Christmas
enough.
time instead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's get talking about this episode 6.
Hell yeah. Fucking great
Growing
episode.
bonds and teasing threads.
Yeah, say it again. What was the name?
Growing bonds and teasing threads.
Huh.
Interesting title name. It confused me when they first put it up, and I was like,
Well, it's confusing me right now. Yeah.
they don't put the title of the episode up until Monday.
Right.
So there is no episode title when we watch it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then when it came up Tuesday, I was like, what? Wait, was that the episode that we watched? I didn't even understand but yeah, it was great. I think it just sort of means the party is finally starting to come together, and there's all these little threads out there that they're sort of taking care of.
Yeah, a couple or a few. Yeah, and I got actually a little point about that.
I'm sure you do.
Hey, we just got our first chatter on Twitch. It was somebody saying, "You want to be famous?" It's a bot. I just banned them.
Oh, all right, good.
But
right we're on Twitch if you want to check us out. We stream live on Twitch on Tuesday nights Taiwan time. I don't even know what Taiwan time is.
Twitch modifies the time zone for viewers.
Okay.
So, yeah. If you go to our channel on Twitch, which is just Critters in Taiwan on Twitch, it'll tell you when we're live, and it's every week this time.
Nice. Yeah. Follow us.
Yep.
Check us out. Hey, I got something to show you. I found these. I didn't find them. I'm stealing them. I'm borrowing.
Bloodlust. I can't see anything else. Ooh, we got some dice going here.
Ooh. These are
Nice
these
UPC
are
symbol.
yeah, you like that? These are the Bloodlust dice by Wiz Dice. Yeah, they're you know whose they are. If you're watching, they're yours.
Oh, are you talking to me or are you talking with viewers right now?
No, I'm talking to somebody that's probably never going to watch this, but maybe he is. I don't know. Anyway,
I'll
I'm using his dice. So I'm gonna roll with these guys today.
Oh, first roll?
Sure.
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah,
roll with
maiden roll.
I'm rolling with somebody else's dice tonight. That's sort of a taboo. A little
This
bit.
is a good place to do it. I
Faux
think.
pas.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I know he'll be cool with it, so it's all good. So I got this.
Oh, they're not yours.
Oh, they're not my dice.
Oh.
I'm rolling with somebody else's dice.
Just put it back in the thing. They'll never know.
They'll never know. So yeah, look at this. Look at this pretty red blood.
Go to the side
20.
a little bit. I'm looking at you on my screen. Or just put it up to the camera. Yeah. Is it like a solid red, or is it
solid red? Yeah.
Yeah, solid red. What color are the numbers?
They're goldish, yellowish, mustard
this
color.
Is kind of what I would think that Logna would have. Maybe a little bit of black involved, but something.
Yeah,
like
I would imagine her dice would be liquid dice. They'd be like black ooze, and they would sometimes roll and sometimes just
be cocked and sometimes dissolve into the table.
Hey, little bits of hair attached to them and chicken
Yeah.
bones.
Sometimes they just break in half.
Ooh, what do you got there? That little chalice, your holy grail. What's going on there? I like it.
This
What's in there?
thing-
Water, right? Water.
Of course, water. You know.
Mhm.
Long story short, we had a show a few weeks ago, something like that. It was a wine festival,
Right, at the wine festival. That's right.
and we showed up, and they gave us these gift bags. You know, we're like, oh shit, look at this. So they took us back to the backstage tent. You know, and we took our shit out, and we had our beers, and you know, we're sitting there. We opened things up, and we're like, oh, we had these chalices that came out, made it like fucking bronze chalices. You
That's
know, this is
awesome,
really,
man. I want
really
one of
cold, 'cause I
those.
just had a.
Mm.
And we're like, God damn,
some-
this is great. That's a great gift for the bands. And it was about like 2 p.m. and they said free wine starts at 5 p.m. And we're like, all right, so we're just drinking our beers. And they said, oh, put your beers in the chalices when you go out there because we don't want people walking around with beers.
Oh, okay,
'cause it's a
right,
wine
right.
festival and the owners are here and all
Interesting.
that. It's a
Okay.
pretty government-run thing.
Okay.
So we're just walking around like, yeah, look at us. We got, you know, we're special. We're in the band, so we get special treatment. So about
Oh,
5 o'clock
man.
or 5:15, we're in the backstage tent, just like chatting with each other, and we're like, oh shit, it's free wine time. So we go out with our chalices, and we go up to the wine place, and we're like looking around. Everybody's got a goddamn chalice. Everybody who signed
That's
or
awesome.
paid for the free wine all day
That's
got one.
awesome.
I thought we got special treatment because we were band,
No.
you know, band
you're
folks.
just a schlub. You're just
We're
a
just
dude
one
that
of
showed
them.
up there.
But man, I mean, this is
They're
probably super
class,
cheap.
man. It's
but-
class. It is metal, not plastic, right?
It is, yeah, it's some aluminum
Yeah,
or
it's,
something.
it's yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
Full
I'm
of
guessing it's probably
water.
not bronze, but it'd be pretty cool if it was bronze.
Yeah, it does
or
kind of color
brass.
the taste just a little bit.
Hmm. Maybe there's some
Yeah.
lead in there then.
Yeah, anyway, so that's the story of the chalice.
Excellent. Hey,
All
you
right.
ready to roll?
Yeah, let's roll. All right, man, so many fucking points today. I just said we shouldn't say that. You ready?
I got some. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All
do
right,
it.
let's roll, buddy. Ooh, tough to beat.
That's what you get for rolling someone else's dice.
Did you get a 1?
Yep. Natural one.
My 19
Wow.
was wasted on you.
I rolled a natural one. That's
I think
amazing.
you might have to tell
Roll-
that person now.
Don't roll other people's dice. I should put these away. I'm gonna put them away. I'll go grab the other dice there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead.
You're up.
I'm gonna take a little. How do you say that? Pull a card from the Ben deck,
Oh, okay.
and I'm just gonna start from the top instead of prioritizing. I'm just gonna start from the top. This is a small point. I feel because I'm so used to binging this show, you know, like when you watch the first season or first campaign, second campaign, you just start the next one right afterwards, right?
Right away. Yeah,
And,
it never stops.
Watching the third one because it's brand new, they're coming out every week. When they end it, I feel like it's just so abrupt and so short. You know, like the time between Matthew saying like, and that's where we're gonna pick up next week. You know, and they have a little bit of banter, and then he's like, "All right, good night, love you all," and then it's over. And I'm like, "Hey, that's it." You know, I feel like it's so impersonal because
And yet it's a 4.5 hour show.
poor me, right?
Yeah, it's spoiled, I think is the word you're looking for. How many 4-hour shows do you watch?
This is the only one. Yeah, everybody
Right,
else
right.
keeps themselves at 90 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I don't even know how to comment on that. I agree.
Don't
I
have to,
want
yeah.
I want them all. I want them all right away. We're on episode 6, and I've been tempted several times. We had this 2-week break because they take a break for They took a break for Thanksgiving. They're going to be taking a break every 3 weeks, so every 4th episode is going to be off.
I'm curious how they're gonna do that with Christmas and New Year's.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. It'll probably be a very fluid thing. I was very tempted over this 2 weeks to go back and watch the first one again, and then the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. I was tempted to go back and sort of, I'm just going to do that. But no, I've been keeping myself busy with the Chroma Conclave arc. I just finished a couple of days ago. I finished the Umbrasyl fight. And yeah, it was fantastic to watch those old battles. I haven't watched them in years. It's great to watch them.
It's
I
so cool to
think-
watch the difference between now and back then.
That's-
when they were lax
yeah, that's-
with the rules, and now they're not so lax with the rules. You know.
Yep. Well,
And
they weren't. they weren't lax with the rules. The rules were still there. The players were just very unaware of many of the rules.
So maybe Matthew was just kind of
Yeah.
lax and super patient with
I don't know if you remember or not, but the Umbrasil fight, Chris Perkins sat in.
Oh, what did he play in that fight?
He played a Goliath, an elder Goliath lady named Shale.
That's right.
An elder from the Herd of Storms.
Yeah.
Grog's old herd. And there were multiple moments when I was keying in on him during the combat and sort of watching his reactions and him nodding, very little imperceptible nods when Matt would say or do something, and the corner of his mouth would sort of twitch in a little bit of a grimace smile sort of a thing. Right. When the players, like, I think, not to point out any names, but when Liam would say something,
I'm going to call somebody out tonight, so don't worry about it.
Liam was like, and I'm an assassin archetype rogue, so I get everything with sneak attack, and Matt's like, you get the first and then this, and you could just see Chris Perkins just sort of watching him in
initiative, so I get everything. It's like, well,
exactly,
you get one thing.
There was some really, really funny moments like that, and then. But
when you're watching on a screen this size, which is usually what I'm doing when I'm watching these episodes, you don't pick up on the little.
Oh, you know? Yeah. So there was a couple of other things too, where Chris was sort of like, he'd sit there and he'd be like, you see these little nods and little smiles, and then a couple of times you can see him sort of, he'd open his mouth and he's like, nope. He doesn't say anything, no advice, no like little backseat DMing, or because he's like the DM, right? Like
he was the most famous DM before Matthew, and then Matthew kind of F1'd him.
Of course. But I mean, like but Chris Perkins is the lead game designer for D&D. He's the Wizards, right? Like WotC. So he's like the man next to Jeremy Crawford. There's like, Jeremy Crawford's in the back, and he's the CEO. He's the main man, but Chris Perkins is out there in the front and doing all this. Basically, what I'm assuming is playtesting everything as they come out.
I think that's his job. Just like, like, hey, you're the guy. Can you check this out?
when they do the D&D live stuff, he's the one that's the first. Like, they published a book like 2 years ago. They did Rime of the Frost Maiden, and Chris Perkins was the very first one to run a campaign in 10 towns in the Spine of the World. So like, and he did the Stranger Things campaign with the cast from Stranger Things and all of that. So he really is the man. He's the man.
He's just not the man in the spotlight.
Right. No, because Critical Role is the phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
If Critical Role wasn't really
actors, they put on a show. Exactly. It's not just a game. Exactly. It's a show when they're acting. That's why people adhere to it. That's why $11 million was gathered for their fucking animated series.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy thing, right? The phenomenon that is, it's become art as opposed to a game. Like, suddenly it's theater. Oh, no theater. It's become theater. It's become a show. It's become a phenomenon. It's crazy.
Man, without repeating too much in our first or second episode, that's why we watch the fucking show, because it's that good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just Anyway, I sort of tangented off there a little bit. Apologies.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
Right. Yeah. So hey,
counterpoint. Counterpoint, but counter something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to go into the big one right now. I'm guessing this is also yours, but what the fuck is up with that? I mean, listen,
I didn't put a point down for this because I was pretty sure you would.
Yeah, well, I love Taliesin. I think he's an amazing D&D player. I think he's an amazing actor. I'm sure it is. Well, there'll be crossover, whatever. It's all good. But this idea of this drinking game that he came up with, what the fuck is up with that? The whole idea of combining rollies with backstory, or combining rollies with drinking to flush out backstory is genius. Like, there's no other word for it. the way that the
I thought you were gonna go
only
the other way.
if
I was
oh
worried.
no, because if Sam, for example, had come up with this idea, they would have really laughed it off. They would have been like, "Oh, Sam, haha, you're just being a clown, and you're clever clown, but a clown nonetheless." And if somebody else had done it, they would have sort of been. But when Taliesin does something like this, there is a certain gravitas to it, right? There is a sort of a savant kind of a thing happening because
Him and Liam are the strongest RPers in the
Yeah.
group, in my opinion, across all campaigns.
across all campaigns, yes. I mean, we have our personal favorites like Laudna or Marisha fucking knocking it out of the park with her RP this campaign.
but you know, as far
but
as
not
when it
in
comes
campaign
down
one,
to
not in campaign two.
deep-rooted RP,
Yes,
Liam
yes.
obviously shows it all the time. But when Taliesin gets into RP, he's
Yeah.
fucking serious about it, you know,
Yep.
which makes sense why he
Very.
doesn't laugh sometimes at some jokes,
Yes.
because he's probably like in that character so much.
Oh,
he's
he's
like just
completely.
it's amazing. Yeah.
So I actually wrote down all of they did 7 rolls, and it worked out. I don't know if this was planned or not, but it worked out that each and every single one of them, all 7 of them, got a turn. So the first one was for Dorian,
Yeah,
then
they
Ashton, then
fudged the
Fern,
rules a
then
little
Imogen,
bit.
then Orem, then FCG, then Laudna.
Yeah.
At the end of it, they were the last 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
They were like, well, I haven't gone yet, so it's my turn, and I haven't gone
right.
yet, so
It's
I'm
like there was a
last.
19 and an 18. It's like, well, I already
Yes.
went, so go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I'm
And
totally down with
Taliesin
that.
was also back there and being like, these aren't hard and fast rules. We can change them if you
Mhm.
want to. And it's
Mhm.
like, no, Taliesin, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it happen.
Mhm.
But yeah, they changed
Well,
them as they went a little bit.
That's sort of my point, right? Is that the whole genius of it wasn't so much the game. It was the idea of fleshing out the backstories for all these characters.
And we got
Starting
a lot about Laudna, man.
That's the big one, right? That was the real big reveal.
You got some confirmation / not vindication, because I wasn't
No,
against
no.
you. I just wasn't
It
joining
wasn't.
you.
They're very, very high probability educated guesses. That's what they were.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty obvious, like looking online and going, oh, that fearful presence. No, what's that presence that she always does? The one that causes fear, something presence. Shadowy presence, unsettling presence.
Is that it? I'm just throwing a word out there.
Disturbing presence. I think it's unsettling.
Unsettling. Is it unsettling?
I think it is, but that's a characteristic of the hollow ones,
We're
right?
probably
So
both
that's
wrong. I'm not sure.
whatever. I've written it down somewhere in my notes. I could probably go back and find it.
Yeah. Let crit
yeah.
roll stats do it. It's fine.
Sure, that's what
They're watching. You know.
100%. I thought it was kind of interesting, like just going through some of the. I just read one of my other notes here. The other giant part of the genius of this, I feel like, was from Taliesin, was a gift to Matt. This was almost to the minute, and 60 minutes, almost. It was like 61 minutes, 60 minutes and 39 seconds. I counted it, of Matt not saying a word. Nothing.
Dude, there's only been like one other time that I can think of that Matt's done that, and that's when Liam was describing the tower.
The tower, yeah.
It was just
exactly.
the first
or
half
the
of the
date.
episode. And we'll take a break.
Or the Beauregard Yasha date in the tower, where
Right.
Liam also got to do like a fucking half the
Right. Wasn't quite
half
as long,
the episode. No,
but it was another one of those remarkable lengths.
but this was
a
a full hour of Matt just sitting and watching all the players sit around the table, roll dice, pretend to get drunk, and dish on their own backstories.
How
it was,
great for him, you know. He gets to watch it like us,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
He just gets to sit back and like
really neat.
just get the popcorn and let it go.
Just to quickly go through some of them, I think the first one was the interesting, weird little reveal about Dorian and his wealth, and he was what he said, a second in line to a prominent family you've never heard of. And so he's got some money. He comes from some nobility. I'm guessing he probably took this is my knowledge of D&D 5th edition coming through. He probably took the noble, hey puppy, Lacey's running around my legs here, looking for attention. Probably took the noble background, which gives you like fine clothes and a bunch of gold in your pocket and some other little. You think you get like a signet ring or something for.
Now
for
this would be back in
sealing
the
wax or
EXU
something.
days, right?
This would be from the EXU when they rolled up their
Yeah.
characters, right? So that was kind of an interesting little reveal. I kind of dug that a little bit, and that, hey man, listen, that played in a little bit at the very, very end of the episode, right when they were in the playhouse.
Looped
When
back around. Made me
Yeah.
think that Matthew
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Now's a good time to do this.
Yeah,
You
it was an
know?
interesting because you realize you're like, oh, he's got a brother.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I wonder what that's, and a brother with I wrote it down here. Cyrus Wyvern Wind. Like, what a fucking great name.
You gotta earn that name, right?
Oof. Yeah, I mean, Dorian Storm, Cyrus Wyvern Wind. Oof. Oof. I hope he's a bard too, because that's badass, man.
Oh, with those gauntlets, man, I don't think so.
You're right. Maybe not. Although
Bards don't wear gauntlets unless they're only vocal.
no, because there's an archetype. There's the what's it called? They're a combat bard. There's the Bard of Lore, which
Or a
Scanlan
multi-class.
was, and then there's also multi-classing, but there's a Valor Bard. There's the Lore Bard, which was what Scanlan was. So he had like all different, mostly spells and books.
Yeah.
And then there's spells and stories, not spells and books, spells and stories. And then there's the Valor Bard, they come up right in the front lines and they fight with the fighters and the barbarians and all that.
With all that
They're right up at the
valor.
front. They usually play a horn. And they blow their horn, and that inspires everybody. There's some really neat little features. Like if you're within 5 feet of them, so you come up with the barbarian and the paladin, and you basically buff everyone around you when you blow your horn and do these different kinds of things. Really, it's a very neat little archetype. It's sort of a counter, and not really like a traditional bard, but more of like a fighting bard. Kind of fun.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, but like just being brothers doesn't mean they have to be anywhere similar in class.
That's right. Well, it's a hell of a name, man. Cyrus Wyvern Wind.
Yeah.
Then there was the second. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'll go through the ones that I thought were kind of interesting. Ashton, we got the second question from Fern, and it was have you ever been in love? And he couldn't answer it. And then he talked about how about the band that he used to be called the gang that he used to be in, which
the Nobodies.
The Nobodies. Yeah, kind of an interesting. It was interesting. What more I want to talk about with that one is, or the comment that I have for that is, I thought it was funny that Ashton or Taliesin brought up this game and then was one of the ones that revealed the least.
Right.
It was more him wanting everybody else to reveal all their shit to him so that he could get sort of a handle on what was happening or get them to sort of dish about themselves. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Firm, Imogen, Orem. I guess the one that I really, this will be my last one because I'll let you can talk about law next. I'm sure that's one of your points. The FCG's reveal, where this was, I don't know if you caught this or not, but when Orem asked him, "What are you?" Like he's like, I've seen something like you, and I've been around things like you, but I don't know. What do you do? And he stuttered. Liam stuttered a little. Orem stuttered a little bit, and then he finally said, "What are you?" And Sam,
what the fuck's up with that?
FC, he's like, "What the fuck's up with that?" FCG was, he
did that. He pulled a card from Matthew's deck from Aor. Hello, I'm Charlie.
very much. And I that for me is much more interesting than saying anything.
He's like, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I didn't mean to.
Yes.
He's like, oh, that's okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah, totally. He was like, I don't mind talking about myself. And I'm like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't talk about himself at all. He didn't say anything. So I'm curious about two things with that one. I'm curious if he's pulling a Taliesin with Molly Mock, where it's just, I woke up and I don't care what happened before that, And so he's leaving it in Matt's hands.
Right.
Or if this one I'm leaning more towards, that Sam has actually written a backstory and given it to Matt, and FCG doesn't know it,
But Sam
but
probably
Sam
does.
does. But Sam does. So I'm leaning more towards that one.
As
That
far
one's going to be
when
more fun.
long game comes into play, I mean
Yeah.
Matthew's number one, and then
Yes.
Sam's up there, if not number
Oof.
two, close to number two.
Man, that fucking, let's go back to campaign one in that regard with
Well, when he
God
took
damn
off,
it. When Scanlon leaves, what's my mom's name?
yeah,
What's my mother's name? And then what's his name? Doofus. The blonde douchebag? What was the guy? Tyrion Darrington.
Tyrion Darrington.
When
Hey,
that,
quick question: what's Scanlon's mom's name?
Ashley.
No,
Oh no, wait.
wrong campaign.
Oh yeah, that's campaign 2. Oh crap. Yeah, well,
can't believe
the
you.
knots. Yeah, I don't remember.
It starts with a J. Come on.
I genuinely don't remember.
Juniper.
Clearly wasn't that important to me. What was it?
Juniper.
Juniper.
Not
Yes,
a super easy
Juniper.
name, but I just wanted
No,
to
it's
test you.
I do remember Knott's or Veth's mother and father though. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Ashley and Travis.
Yeah. Even he got it wrong
That-
once. He was like Ashley, and he said somebody else at one point. Yeah.
Ted Theodore or something like that. He said some other T name.
So, can I jump in there?
It's all you, man. I hogged the mic long enough. It's all you.
Okay. I mean, without rolling again, but hey, it's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Do whatever the fuck we want.
I without really bringing up Laudna too much, if you've seen the show, you understand. Like they went for a while, and she's just surprisingly open about everything. Maybe not surprising anymore, but when I first met the character, I was like, I felt like she was going to be a little shielded, but no, she's just like,
no,
it's right
just
there,
a little
man. Like,
chatty Kathy.
yeah,
Yeah,
she'll
love
tell
it.
everything. Which if you watch the episode, it may have its drawbacks based on her patron. I know we say all spoilers, but we sometimes try not to spoil everything. I saw something on Reddit at one point, which I thought was like it was not really heartwarming. That's a little weird to say because they were talking about when they were watching campaign 1, rewatching campaign 1. This is the post I saw on Reddit. They were talking about like how when they got there, when the Briarwoods were in power, like the people they saw on the outskirts, the farmers and shit like that.
Right. I read this post. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Was when she was alive, back when she
I
was
read
like,
that exact same one.
Yeah,
I know
did
that
you?
was that's I did. It popped up on my feed
it was one
yesterday
of the top posts
or
on
today.
CR,
Yeah, it came right up, and that was the guy was like, they remember that family when they were coming in, that was scrounging and struggling to make ends meet, and they were
that's
digging
kind of
for
exactly
vegetables.
what she said. Like,
yeah, very
and
much.
I was like, fucking hell, yeah, that makes sense, and then some shit
They-
happens in between, and Laudna comes out.
Somebody
years
in
later.
that thread made a really poignant comment about that as well. What did they just film? What did Critical Role just make? They just wrapped The Legend of Vox Machina, which deals with the Briarwood arc.
So maybe
and so
was
that
fresh in her brain.
Fresh in her brain. Somebody actually commented on them like, oh, of course it was. Of course. They were sitting there watching these old episodes, going through them, and I'm sure that was very fresh when she was coming up with this character. She's like, because not so much that maybe I don't think that would have made her make the character, but who knows, maybe. But definitely that's a possibility, right? That they were all watching them, and it became suddenly relevant.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they as a collective group were so quick with a tie, back to one of the old campaigns, but like it's a new campaign. Who knows? It's it's all going to be different, and it's just like immediately they were just like, I'm from Whitestone, and again we didn't pick that up the first time we watched it. And then second time we're like, what? And
there's a
it's
critter in the
just
corner
out there in the open, and then Orm's there too, so maybe that was a bit of an ease in because Orm and the AXU crowd, and we just learned this time Lacey. I think we just learned because Orm just disclosed like why he's in Marquette, right? Hey girl,
she's eyeballing me. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I know she can't hear me, but
She
goddamn.
can't. No. It's cutie.
Yeah, so Orm just
So what were you
disclosed.
saying?
Yeah.
Orem disclosed what?
Towards the end of the episode, he had disclosed like why he's in
Oh,
Marquette
about
because of
why
his
he's at, yeah,
charge.
because he when he was asked during the drinking game, he said fuck all. He
Yeah,
didn't say anything. He was very
but he
guarded
came
about
back
it.
to it, right?
Later on, I wrote down some stuff. Where the hell did I? I thought
You're
I
gonna have
wrote
to
down
roll
some
pretty
stuff.
soon.
Uh-oh. Maybe I didn't. I thought I wrote it down. I guess I didn't. Yeah, but I do remember that he did talk about. I'm sure I wrote this down. Beginning of sub medium. No,
Yeah,
no,
Liam
no.
had the floor for a bit, and he talked
He
about it for a little
did.
while,
Yeah.
and that's how I know what's
Oh,
going on.
right. It was about it was the Ephid's nest when they started talking, when he sat down and he started talking about the anger, and Brashad, what's the guy? Oshad. Oh boy. Did I write notes down? Here we go. Oshad Brescio, the anger. He worked for the Loomis twins, and yeah, they were really getting into it. Right.
I can see it
That's
on my
right.
Zoom, but not on the OBS. The
Mhm.
autolingus going on the couch behind you.
Uh,
Oh, she's done now, but it's not on the stream. But
that's fine.
who cares?
Taking self. It's all self care.
Right? Yeah, she's a self. Yeah, she takes care of herself.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fun little bit, right? About where they really started. He finally opened up about where they all said, "Oh, can we?" There was a funny comment by Dorian. Can we finally stop telling people that we're not on vacation?
Right? Yeah. I think because of
That made me laugh.
Talison's game. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
Ashton's game because that was totally Talison's game.
totally Talison's game.
Yeah. Oh, are we ready to roll?
Sure, I'm gonna get a new dice because apparently I can't roll somebody else's dice.
Yeah, get
Hang
some
on one
dice.
sec.
Yeah. And by ready to roll, of course, I don't mean we're taking off. No, we're rolling dice. I got the same dice,
Luckily,
that
there's
I've had
always
the whole time.
dice nearby.
But it is a wonderful, beautiful dice. If you're looking into it, just go to critroll.com or something like that. You can get
I'm
some
gonna
dice,
get
maybe
some.
like this.
I don't know which dice I want. There's too many to choose from. I want them all. I want all of the dice. Except ironically, I don't want Scanlons. I think they're ugly.
I want
I
the
think
the
that.
white stones. I think I've said that
Oh
like 10
yeah,
times.
the gemstones. Yeah, they're
They're
beautiful.
gorgeous. They're like
beautiful.
opalescent, like kind of
I'm
purple.
rolling with the greenies today.
The greenie. All right.
Well, the bloodlust ones gave me a natural one, so fuck you. And it's
Yeah,
clearly
put that shit
it's
back in
cursed.
there and then tell them about it too. Why not?
I will.
All right, Rolly.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm in. Oh.
I'm middle of the road.
Yeah, I'm 19.
19. I got a 13.
Yeah, 19.
You're up, buddy.
I rolled a. Okay. I'm
We should work on a Rolly
gonna.
graphic that can go across the screen.
Yeah, no, it would. Hey, that'd be
I
great.
wonder if I could do that. Shit.
I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna go straight up with. Yeah, sure. The when they went, this is sort of just a thing that I noticed. It's kind of, this could lead to a good little discussion. Maybe not actually.
We're already 30 minutes in, man.
When they went back to the what's that place called? God damn it, there's too many places.
I'm not so
here.
good with the places so far.
I wrote it down. Where's another page? The root trader. When they went back to the root trader and then went up into that's where they say the code word we're putting you in a hole. No, I don't even remember the codes. I wrote them down at some point. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't
that's
remember.
where
You're ringing bells, but I don't quite remember.
the Hobart Corsairs have their secret, their
right.
safe house.
Yeah,
And that's
I
where
keep
Yash,
thinking about
where
the
they
gentleman fucking password.
I know. We come
We have
with
no money, but we have many gifts. Something
we
like
have many
that.
gifts, right?
And this one is something about laughter, something like that.
We've come for the laughter.
Is that it? Is that what it is? Yeah, it seems.
I think it
seems
is.
Like a
and then,
direct
but then
bastard.
there's a second thing they have to say.
Oh.
There's
Yeah, I
like
don't remember.
there's like a two whatever. Come for the laughter, and then there's a second thing that they say. Anyway, they went back to the Corsairs safe house. They walked inside, and it was really early in the morning, so most of them were sleeping. Right? They wake them up, and they wake Yash up, and
That name is so confusing.
yeah, I know. They wake him up, and he sort of there was a funny little moment where he's got a whole routine. He's like taking care of his face.
Oh,
And
that's right. But
using
he
moisturizer.
moisturizes.
Weird. That came out of left field. I'm like, where in the fuck is this even coming from? But it was funny, fun little role play. I like shit like that.
Yeah.
But the point that I've got here is that they straight up told Yash that they killed Duggar,
Right.
and he didn't bat an eye. He was just sort of like, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's good." But wait a minute, like this guy used to be a member of the Corsairs, and you're just telling him that you took him out. I'm trying to figure out if I missed something where he gave them his blessing, or he was like, "Yeah, go ahead and do whatever." But it struck me as odd that they just sort of, "Yeah, we killed him," and that's that.
Did they say something? Because like when Fern was asking them, like, what does it take to become a member? They were like, well, you have to really prove yourself, or if
Right.
not, then you
Right.
are at the mercy of the law and you don't know anything about us. Because
Right.
if you do know something about us, then there's going to be consequences.
Right.
In less words or more words than that. I wonder if maybe that was the thing where it's like, well, you were, but then you're not now. Maybe it was a thing of the past, and they were just like, "Hey, whatever fucking happens to you, it doesn't matter." But I don't know. I'm with you. I don't have a.
It
I don't have a link.
came off as very strange to me as I was just sort of watching it and thinking, well, why isn't he concerned about this? That this group of mercenaries, as far as he's concerned, because they work for Lord Esteros, and they're just basically being paid to go around and kill and discover things and kill people. Has just sort of wandered in and like, hey, yeah, we killed a member of an ex-member perhaps, or a member that disappeared or got weird and whatever, but still was a Corsair at one point, obviously. And they didn't really do anything about it. It struck me as very odd.
Maybe they don't give a shit.
Maybe. I don't know. It was strange. Like the whole idea of the Corsairs, where there was that one interesting point where he said that if he was actively selling or smuggling or doing something with Broomstone, then that's when we'd have to get in there and get involved and get,
that's our business.
Because they're against that. No, the Corsairs are sort of like the Merry Men. Robin Hood and the Merry Men. They're kind of against the rich. They very much want to take down the quorum, right? That's what I've got written down in my notes here. So I feel like, I don't know, it's all kind of vague, but Yash did very much make a threat, saying that he's like, if we're going to take out the quorum, we're going to bleed them dry of every single copper that they have, so they're forced to reveal themselves. So like those in those words they're pretty serious. That's some definite like revolutionary Che Guevara sort of Robin Hood kind of whatever that, or the local folk hero sort of thing is.
Yeah. Every copper, not every silver, not every gold, every copper.
Yep. That's profound.
Yeah.
Profound.
Well, I mean, like you think about like with the gentleman and their thing, like as soon as like Lucien and whomever were out there, he was like, yeah, he was in my employee, and he was in my employ. And then they said like, well, he's doing this, and he's like, well,
the Tabaxi, what's her
just
name?
The same kind of flippant, just like, well, he's not in my employ anymore, right? So he doesn't give a fuck, Maybe it's something similar, It's like, well, they used to be here, but not anymore. However, I'm pretty sure that anybody who leaves, if they leave and then give any information, you're fucking yourself.
Exactly. Sure. So maybe that's the case. Maybe that is the case with Duggar. Maybe that was the whole sort of that sort of a thing.
That's all I could surmise, really.
And then the last sort of point about that meeting that I thought was kind of really cool, setting up a lot of fun stuff in the future, is that the Corsairs would like to meet with Esteros, although they're not exactly sure how. And
Right.
I thought that's going to be a fun little sort of thing, because they don't trust Esteros, right? They think they're like, because he's rich, because it's inherited wealth. Even though as far as we know, it definitely isn't. He came by it by what he's said to the party. That it is legitimate means that what was her name? Putage,
Something like that.
something like that. That was like, I was her bodyguard for many, many years, and so she gave me
Right.
everything
And somebody insight
when she
checked that.
passed. And
Yeah.
and it was,
And he was like,
yeah,
I would
it
give my
seemed
life for this woman. Yeah.
it seemed very legit. That's right.
Like he got real
So
serious for that moment.
yeah, exactly. So probably it is legit, and probably he is a good guy. And then a relationship between the Corsairs sets up a fun little civil war, perhaps, in the city, which could be fun.
Or Union.
Yeah, I'm also I'm just musing here. I find it also really interesting that 6 episodes in, they're still in the same city. That they have not made any attempt to even talk about leaving the city yet.
That's
It's a big city.
My next point
Oh.
also
Oh.
has something to do with that. Or
Okay.
what it now is kind of my next point.
Oh, hey, the transition
that,
into that. Hey, great
we
segue, Ben. Right.
we did get contacted by somebody who enjoys the show and us as people. He has seen this show a couple of times. His
Okay.
name is Kid Celtic on Twitch. I know that much. When he watched the first episode, he's a casual fan, not like a take notes kind of fan like we are.
The first episode of Campaign 3.
Yeah, when he watched the first episode, Campaign 3, he took down some notes and he sent me the notes because I gave him my contact. And I looked at his notes, and of course all the spelling is fucking weird because it's the first episode. How do you spell that shit?
Sure.
I've got those notes
This
here.
is why you use subtitles.
Oh, that's right, because they got. Yeah, maybe he's like me, where
Yeah.
he doesn't want to.
I can't, for this exact reason, I cannot watch these episodes without subtitles. I have to have the subtitles on.
The first time I can't do it with them.
I know. I understand it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, so let me go quickly through this guy's notes. He says,
Sure. Yeah. Give her.
like a staggering mountains desert makes up a third of the map, which is something we talked about extensively in the first
Very much,
or in our first episode.
Yeah.
Central
The drastic. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like the difference between campaign
Campaign 1 Marquette and Campaign 1 Marquette versus Campaign
2 never
3.
came up. Yeah.
Nope.
Central City on Corel, Jewel of Hope, Jord rules. The south is a jungle, erudite orcish folk. Southwest is highlands with pastoral spot. Not sure what that means. The north is military
Meadows
powerhouse.
and brooks and stuff.
Say it again.
Pastoral would probably be like meadows and valleys and oasis stuff.
I was thinking like
that's my guess.
Sure, I was thinking religious.
Oh no, pastoral means like idyllic glades, like meadows and like Ireland Highlands or Scottish Highlands, sort of like beautiful craggy things. Very pastoral.
Okay, good to know. Hey, you learn something every day. They said the north was a military powerhouse. The center is very populated, hotly contested, dusty mountainous region. And there's
that's where Imogen is from.
Right. Yeah, she's from Marquette, right?
Outside the something Highlands.
But
they
she's
said,
from
because
Marquette, though, right?
When she talked about
she's from an island somewhere outside.
No, she's from Marquette.
But an island, though, wasn't it?
No, I think they said Highlands.
Oh, Highlands, not islands.
Yeah, something Highlands. Yeah, the something Highlands. I don't remember what.
Okay, that makes all right. I guess that makes sense with these notes. And it said there's been a lot of war between the two factions, but there's currently a truce. But they're rebuilding their respective societies. This is all shit that I missed, and he's taking notes on this stuff.
Nice.
And he sent it my way just to be like, hey, just in case it helps or in case you guys hadn't thought about it. And yeah, adventurous start in Dressar, High Valley Rainforest, 5 Spires peaks. But it's nice to get a message from a fan.
Dude, that's amazing, especially the fact that they yeah, especially that they're paying attention and taking notes and sort of enjoying the episode. So I'm just looking up the Imogen's her hometown is Gelvin, the home village. The
Tell me it's on an island.
No, I don't think so. Reserved and thoughtful. She's curious. Biography, background. The Talland Highlands.
God
That's
damn
where
it.
it is. I knew it was something Highlands. Yeah, the Talland Highlands. And I'm not going to get into the
Maybe because my left
information
ear's
about
fucked
that,
up.
but
Maybe that's why. I gotta see a doctor.
I knew it was
on my
something
left ear.
Highlands. So hey, yeah, cool. That's very cool.
God damn, there's so many points here. There's no way we're gonna get through all this.
Give her. You're up next, so go for it.
Was that just your point at that? Now it's just my response.
No,
Wait,
it's yeah. No,
I had my response. I just had my response. It's rolly time.
Okay, cool. Rolly time.
Rolly
Let's
time. Here we go. Here comes the graphic.
Rollies.
Rollies.
Oh dear.
Ooh, middle of the line.
I'm 5.
I got 12. All right.
All you.
Okay. I got to decide between these two. I might have to rolly myself between these two.
Self rollies.
All right, I'm gonna rolly. If I go 1 to 10, I'm gonna choose this one. If I go to 11 to 20, I'm gonna choose the other one.
Give her.
One of them I'm a little iffy about, but the other one, okay, all right, I know what I'm doing. Okay, it's a 12, so I'm going with this one, the non-controversial one.
That sounds.
I have here the whole Matt Mercer effect.
Oh.
It seems to have it's multifaceted. It's like it's all over the place, and it's not really clearly defined across the board. But I think I've experienced some of a Matt Mercer effect as a viewer, in as much as when I'm listening and watching these first episodes of this campaign 3, that I'm sitting there and I know Matthew Mercer because I've seen the first campaigns. I'm sitting there trying to pick up on underlying things that maybe he's throwing out there, little hints and shit like that, just tiny little looks or responses to people's things that I'm missing details about the current campaign because I'm paying too much attention to what Matthew Mercer is putting out there. Would this be considered a Matthew Mercer effect?
An aspect of it for sure. The classically defined. My take on the Matthew Mercer effect is that he is at such a high level that you expect all D&D to be played that way.
Oh,
and so when you experience D&D, it isn't like that at all.
Right.
It's just a bunch of nerds or whatever people sitting around a table,
bunch of
playing
fucking sick ass people playing a game,
sitting around a table playing a game together, right? And there's no massive props. There's no everybody can do 1,000 different voices, and there's no like this homebrew where he's clearly spent hundreds, if not thousands, of hours fleshing out this world of Exandria. That the whole that to me is the Matthew Mercer effect, is that you're just disappointed by what quote unquote normal D&D. I think what you're talking about, I know it's this. I've railed against this Matthew Mercer effect for fucking years now. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think that people who fall into that need to really take a long, hard look at themselves in a mirror and wake the fuck up, because remember I talked about this the last episode.
I think we
did. The whole idea of being so enthralled by your idols that you'd never like. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever play.
That's
so therefore I can never play basketball again. That's just stupid.
Fuck that shit.
Wayne Gretzky was so good on skates that I will never put ice skates on ever again.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Matthew Mercer is so good at D&D.
Like a negative thing.
It is. It really is.
Okay,
It's
'cause
Matthew
this
Mercer
is
is the
also a
greatest.
negative thing where it's like
Yeah.
I'm trying to, because I know who he is and I know what he's gonna do and I
Mhm.
know it's gonna come back,
I
or
feel
maybe
like
he's not, but I'm missing
yeah.
details
Yeah. I
because I'm
feel like
trying to
what
pay
you're
attention
saying
to the
is right.
underlayer.
It's an aspect of it. It's because he's so good at it that you're hypnotized, enthralled by his words, by his
I don't want to be fooled.
storytelling. Right, right. So it's definitely an aspect of it. The fact that he's at such a high level of D&D that it's
Yeah.
I mean it's definitely a piece of it for
High
sure.
level and widely distributed throughout the
Yeah.
public. It's the most
Yeah.
famous D&D game, to date.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
yeah, people are
Agreed.
yeah. So that, I guess, yeah, because once again, I've never played D&D, but this is one
Mhm.
thing that I'm sitting there. I'm like, even like the second time watching
Yeah.
these episodes, just like, wow,
You get hypnotized.
just
Yeah, you get
missing
hypnotized
little
and
details,
mhm,
like little
mhm.
details that our buddy Kid Celtic. He's just like, yeah, he spelled it all out right there. I took these notes. Like, how could you miss
Nice.
that? Like, I'm sorry, I've just seen this so much that I'm expecting
Yeah.
something.
Well,
you know,
you're looking for something else. You're looking for another thing.
yeah,
You're like,
something
where's
that
that
could
going to
not be
lead,
there.
and
It
where's
might
that?
not even
Right,
be there.
right,
And that's
100%.
wasting my time.
It's your it's assumptions and expectations, and sort of that is, I think, what part of the Matt Mercer effect is that you assume that D&D is going to be this because they play it at this level, and
Yeah.
then
So it's Matt
when
Mercer effect adjacent or
yeah, yeah,
tangential.
yeah, a parallel, an aspect of a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's good information. Thank you. Because I
Mhm.
really, until this moment, I wasn't entirely clear what that Matt Mercer effect was.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. I mean, it became a zeitgeist thing in the social medias on when campaign one started gaining some traction and some popularity. People were like, "Oh my god, these voice actors, these professional voice actors are amazing. Why can't everybody be like that?" It's like, don't get me started on this shit. People
I,
are
I think
there's a
you've
lot
won
of
me.
haters, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of nonsense out there that's just
No.
yeah.
What are you gonna
Be
do?
cool,
I think you've
people. Just
won
be
me.
cool. Yeah.
I think you've won me personally. Like what? Like, because we want to break this. I've never played D&D spell,
Yes.
and you were
Yes.
like, "Hey, if I'm your DM, come on, get rid of that. Don't have that Matt
Mm-hmm.
Mercer effect. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to put on
Yep.
a voice. You don't have to
Nope.
act. This is no. We're just
Nope.
gonna play a game. That's all."
We're just gonna play a game.
And I'm and
Absolutely.
I'm and I'm sitting there just like, well, wait, hold on though. Like, if I'm a special guest, I got to be special, right? It's like, no,
Sure.
not at all.
You
You're
you
just a
you
player for
just have
that
to be
day.
you. Yeah, you just have to be you. You can do whatever
And
you
I'm
want
like,
with it.
to relinquish that, just to be like, to relax that from my, or to,
Mm-hmm.
let it go, was like, no, that's better because I'm not a good actor. Like, I don't have more than
Mm-hmm.
two voices that I can do. Here's one of them.
I played an entire campaign as a dwarven paladin, and I didn't use a single voice at all. Nothing. I just used my normal voice. It was just
I
the
think
other
that's
guys at the
most
table had
games.
yeah, the other guys at the table had voices for some of them had voices for their characters, and I didn't. And I was totally comfortable with that. I didn't really have any voices. I didn't really have any personality. I was just there to play the game. That's I think
Wait,
one of the
no
joys of
personality? Come off it.
one of the one of the joys of D&D is that it can be whatever you want it to be. It's just it's a game of the imagination, man. You can do whatever you want
On
as
that
long as you're having
positive
fun.
side,
As long as you're having fun.
yeah, on the positive side, what Critical Role makes me want to do is maybe get a
Play
little bit
D&D.
better at some voice acting. If I do sit down at a
Mm,
table, maybe try a little bit of a voice or
yeah.
something like that.
Hell yeah.
Nothing too extreme, just like maybe an
Yeah, man.
accent or some,
Mm-hmm.
a higher register or a lower register if you can
Yep.
handle it.
Yep.
Instead of
Throw
just
the
this, just be like, anytime it's my character, just change my voice just a little bit,
absolutely.
get
Yeah.
a little bit more involved.
That's an easy one to do too. If you're like sort of beginning and you're just sort of figuring things out, all you have to do is just kind of talk in a voice like this, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of the same voice, but you're kind of a little bit of a lower thing.
Yeah, go
And
Oklahoma a
you
little
just
bit or go
yeah,
Calgary.
I don't even know what that accent is. I don't even know if that's an actual.
Sounded kind of
You hear some
American.
Did it? All
A
right.
bit of a part of America somewhere.
All I was doing was dropping my voice down just an octave and sort of being a little bit more and dragging some letters out. And
Sound
you
like a
can go up
countryman.
high if you like to. You can just do a higher thing like Mickey Mouse or something. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I found it really easy to do a Fresh Cut Grass's accent.
Mm, yeah, I
I
can't
can
do
do
that
it.
one.
I didn't know I had it, but I can just
Mm,
do it. I can like make up lines
to
for Fresh
Ted.
Cut Grass.
I think I just started laughing when I started thinking about Ted Lasso. That's all I can think of is just it makes me giggle.
Oh God, that's right. You said that. It's basically Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Because he even said during one of the episodes, he said that it's not Ted Lasso, it's actually his buddy, guy that he knows who talks like that.
Talking
And
about
that's who he's
Sudeikis? Or you talking about Sam?
no, the Sam said
Oh.
that he's modeling it not after Ted Lasso, he's modeling it after
Oh, well, sunny day to you too.
his buddy. Yeah. Smiley day, y'all.
Well, I guess I can maybe keep it warm. We'll find out soon enough.
Oh, fuck.
It's not even hard to do. It's just
So good.
maybe it
Hey,
should be North
can I throw
American.
Can I throw mine out there then? My sort of it's a good segue for this. If you're good,
Oh yeah,
if
that's
that's
right.
your
Yeah, we
point.
haven't had your retort. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a FCG thing. It's a fun
Look at
little
us and
fun
our
one.
segues, man. We're getting
I,
pro.
I put a big star beside this one because I thought it was fucking genius. Fern using FCG as a thermos, just fucking bravo.
I love how they
Bravo.
didn't know how it would
Oh,
go.
So good.
And it's
so
just like
good.
Fern to be like, well, let's try.
just
Fresh cut grass?
spectacular,
All right.
man. Yeah. Can I put my coffee inside you? Can I use you for booze? Just and then she picks him up and turns him upside down
right.
and pours the coffee into Lord Esteros's cup. Just and Matt's like, whoa, what the hell is this? Just genius.
Yeah, Matthew didn't require a strength check or anything like that. It's just like, nah, just let it go.
Nope.
Just let it happen. Fern is
Yeah.
being Fern. FCG is
Oh,
being
there's
FCG.
There is some talking about that too, about the whole idea of him being an automaton and probably being very, very heavy and whatever. Somebody
be.
built
Unless he's from-
a life-size model of FCG. It's on Twitter. I saw it this morning.
Oh, fuck.
Or yesterday morning. An actual life-size model of FCG, and it's
Good Lord.
fucking
Fans
gorgeous.
be fans, man.
Sam retweeted it. Matt retweeted it. Liam retweeted it. Is Viking. I'd love to give this guy a shout out, man. Viking lore at Twitter or something like that. I could probably find it if I look for it, but I'll send you a link later on. It is a gorgeous model of fresh cut grass because it looks spot on, just bang on. He's got the buzzsaw, the buzzsaw arm attachment on the right arm and the normal hand on the left. Oh, it's just so good, beautiful.
Man.
So people are yeah, fans are fucking crazy.
It's insane, man. That's a whole nother point that maybe if we have an extra episode, we can talk about that because I got a lot of things to say about that. The art and the cosplay and stuff that these people come up with so fast. It's insane.
Yeah, like I'm my crafting skills and my sort of like I can't draw worth shit. I barely am able to draw stick figures on a piece of paper. But my crafting skills are. I showed you my my little big bad that I've got going for my players in the next session that I've been sort of crafting and playing with. My crafting skills are getting a little bit better. I've been doing YouTube University has been teaching me a lot of stuff. I've been learning about how to sort of do different techniques with stuff. So I'm getting a little better at it, but nowhere near the skill of some of these guys out there on Twitter and Instagram.
The alacrity in which it comes out. Like I'm a pretty good drawer. Like I'm pretty good at drawing. I can do realism quite well, but it takes me a while. You know, I got to sit down and like when the episode comes out on a fucking if you're subscribed on a Thursday, if
Thursday
you watch
night.
it live,
you
know, and then they come out with it like. At least like in campaign 2 when Tox Machina shows up from Thursday to Tuesday, it's a completed work.
Couple of days. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane, and the shit that
and
they
they're
pump out,
gorgeous.
man.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I love the fact that it's such a source of inspiration for these artists. That's
Totally.
amazing. Because you know,
Totally.
you take the art out of the context of Critical Role, it's still amazing
Mhm.
art, you know. Sometimes
Oh,
without
it's
context it's even sometimes a bit better.
hell
You're
yeah.
like you don't know where the inspiration's coming from. You just see all this like, you know,
Yeah.
let's say for like Caduceus, for example, there's like
Mhm.
lichens and mold, but then you've got this
Yeah.
green and purple, green and pink color schemes going
Mhm.
on. You're like, holy fuck, where did this come
Yeah.
from? You got to
Yeah.
meet the artist to find out where.
Just using the descriptions from the episode, they're just pulling art, like actually legit. Oh, it's
All the
way
Essic
beyond
art from
anything that I can
campaign
come up
two.
with.
Fucking hell.
Ooh,
Just everybody's
yeah.
different versions of the hot boy, you
The
know,
hot boy.
holding the dodecahedron, just like everybody's different versions of their. Oh man,
Hmm.
I saw a really good
Hmm.
one of what's her name, Astrid. I like it was a cosplay, not art. Like where the
Okay.
hair was just right and just the
Oh, I've
whole
seen it with the
ooh,
tattoos, the tattoos all over, and
so good.
yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was
did
so
the
good.
line, the checkered tattoo. It's like a weird
I
little
think that was pretty recent.
asymmetrical.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
think
that
we're
one. I
thinking about
know.
the same one. Yeah,
I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. It was a good one.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, rollies. Let's have another roll.
Rollies. All right, let's go. Rolling right now. Man, I'm in the middle of the line all day today.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, motherfucker.
I've
There's
rolled
got
a
to be
one.
something for natural ones and 20s, man. We got to come up with something.
Well, hey, yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Maybe
Not right now.
yeah, we'll figure that one out. We'll do something about that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Keep it at that, but yeah, natural
All
20.
right. What's up, man?
Okay. I guess. Sure. Hey, I rolled a natural 20. So let's talk about the fucking madness on the table when Robbie rolled when FCG cast Eagle's Splendor so he'd have advantage on performance checks, and he rolled double natural 20s. Like, and the craziest part is he rolls the natural 20 and they all freak out, and Liam
Yeah.
is like, roll again, roll again, roll again, roll again, do it
Yeah.
again. And then he's like,
let's be clear. He didn't
okay.
advantage one of them was a 20 and then
Yeah.
again one of them was a 20. No. He rolled one because he only has the one die, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And that was a 20, so he just like stopped. And Liam, like you said, he's like, nope, let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
And
It's
the
not going to change anything.
the madness at the table. I loved Matt's little line when he looks at Liam, you fucker, that's witchcraft. You're a witch. Like just that whole thing about
You're a witch.
It's so good. That
You
just
gotta try it though. You have to try it just to see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But if
Doesn't
it does
matter,
work,
exactly.
holy shit.
Advantage is always advantage. It doesn't matter what you should always roll twice. It's one of those. Did I tell you that my I think I told you about this. The one of the girls at the table a couple of weeks ago. We had our very first campaign, the very first session of the campaign, our campaign, Chris Estrad, and the very first session, she takes her dice out of the bag, hasn't rolled any dice yet, and she gets her very first roll, and she sits there sitting at the table. She rolls the dice, and it's a natural 20, right off the hop.
First roll ever in her life.
First roll. Not her
Of
first
this
roll
cam-
ever in her
of
life.
this-
Of
of
the
this-
first roll of this campaign.
Okay.
She's
pulling
never
fucking Travis over here.
she didn't even practice roll the dice. It was the very first roll of the dice
Respect, man. I
in
don't
session
practice
one.
roll.
It was for a, I think it was a perception check. Probably was a perception check.
That's usually
Just
what
something
happens.
mundane. Yeah, it's usually perception. Just a mundane thing, and everybody at the table freaked out. She took a picture of it, and I'm trying to instill in them a sort of this natural 20s are very, very good. I'm not punishing them. This is the good stuff of the Matt Mercer effect, because Matt Mercer doesn't punish for natural ones. I've played with DMs who punish you for rolling a natural one.
He does,
fall.
but not overly.
No, but DMs that I've played with, you're like, oh, you slip and fall, you're now prone. You lose your grip on your axe and it goes flying 20 feet away from you and embeds itself in the wall. If you're an archer and you get roll a natural one, your bowstring breaks. And then you have to spend the next round.
Breaks?
Yeah.
Come on, that's a bit much.
Yep. Oh, it's harsh, man.
I
It's
think in campaign one,
harsh.
somebody put an axe in the wall and it took them an action to get it out of the wall. Something like that. Wasn't that in campaign one from a natural
Maybe,
one roll?
maybe. I don't think Matt ever has punished them with natural ones. I don't think he ever has. And
Oh,
I've played with many
I'm
DMs.
saying
So
sure he has. I think that was in campaign one
maybe,
that he had that. He's like, I
maybe,
don't
but
know
they
who has an
roll
axe, but
um they roll natural ones. I think the episode I just watched, the Umbrasyl fight, they rolled, there were multiple Grog Travis rolled because he deals the killing blow to Umbrasyl in that fight. Spoilers. But
look out.
the in that in the round before that, he gets 3 attacks, and then I think 2 of them were natural ones, and nothing happens as a result of it. So Matt doesn't
Right.
really punish them at all with natural ones, and
I think he does
what I'm
sometimes.
saying is that's what I'm taking out of the one part of the Matt Mercer effect, is using that as inspiration and saying, yeah, of course, don't punish
positive
players
side,
for natural ones, the positive sides. It's a good
I
thing to do.
I like the idea of kind of punishing a one, but not like punishing too much where it might make you lose a fight or go unconscious. But like that classic
In
moment in campaign 2 when Travis rolls 3 ones in a row when they're at that fucking like carnival or whatever that thing
yes,
was with the
yes,
fucking bag toss or whatever.
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
know, and like
The
yeah, he just like kind
it
of
was in
punishes it like,
Zadash
oh, it
at
just lands back on your head and there's no damage, there's no repercussions or anything. Like Matthew will do that kind of stuff, you know, with the natural one.
he threw the sandbag up in the air and it caught on a piece of his breastplate.
Yeah,
And
and
tore,
the sand went
tore open,
everywhere.
sand
Yeah,
goes flying everywhere. That's
'cause
right. What was that? It wasn't Wintercrest Festival, because they don't have Winter's Crest in
I don't know what I don't remember what it was.
what's the continent called?
Wildmount?
Wildmount. Thank you. Tal'Dorei, and they're in Tal'Dorei has Winter's Crest, and Wildmount has, I don't remember what the name of the festival was. It was in Zadash though, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it definitely was in Zadash.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're wrong,
They spent most of
call us out. We got information.
they spent
down here.
most of their time in Zadash in campaign 2. That was their home base, basically.
So like, yeah, Matthew's not like, I will not punish you for a natural one, but you know, he
I'll tell you
doesn't
something, man.
like
Fifth edition is much less punishing than say Pathfinder or even 3.5. In Pathfinder, if you roll if one of the campaigns I played in, you roll a natural one, you often fall prone. And when you fall prone in Pathfinder, everybody around you gets an attack of opportunity. When you stand up, everybody around you gets an attack of opportunity.
Holy shit.
Oh, it sucks. It sucks something hard. So Pathfinder is very feat heavy. Feats are a really big thing. So there are feats that you can take that let you fall and get up without provoking attacks of opportunity, but you have to take those feats. So if say as a fighter, you don't take those feats and you fall prone, as soon as you fall, everybody around you gets you're as a fighter, you're usually surrounded by bad guys. So everybody gets to stab at you. And then you try and stand. You can't attack. You can attack from prone, but there's penalties involved in it. And then if you do try to stand up, they all get attacks of opportunity on you again. It sucks. It's awful.
It counts as movement, getting up from prone?
Yeah. Yeah. It does in 5th edition too. It's half your movement getting up from prone.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't get an attack of opportunity.
I know, not at all.
In 5th
just costs you
edition,
half
right?
your movement. Nope.
Fucking hell. Maybe that's why, they made the difference.
Well, it in both.
That's pretty
it's just a
fucking
game.
brutal, man.
They're just games. It's just games, right? They're just the
Like
rules
rolling a
of
natural one.
games.
If you're surrounded by fuckers, then you're dead.
Yeah, and then you go prone, and then you get after you're forced to stand up again. Yeah, you're in trouble. Punishing.
Yeah. I mean,
punishing.
if there's like
DMs.
4 people around, even like 4 skeletons around you, and they're doing minimal damage, like
Yep.
you're still
Not all
getting hit by all
DMs.
that shit.
Not all DMs are friendly DMs. There are DMs that have vendettas.
Well, yeah. I mean, something you and I have talked about. Like, I'm kind of hoping to see maybe. I got to be careful when I say it. I'm kind of hoping to see a little bit more death.
I know.
Or close to death, or
Again,
things where it's
we've
like,
said
hey
this.
man, sorry, there's no way to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We've said this a few times. We want them. I'd love to see a guest sit down at the table and be a fucking asshole to them and just fuck them over bad.
I think it's a great
I want to see
idea.
it so bad, so badly. Speaking of which, I know you don't like spoilers. Do you want to talk about This is what, episode 3 episodes in a row now with no Travis.
Now, when you
What do
say
you think?
spoilers, what do you want about?
I think Travis might be the anger.
I thought about that.
He's too old. I don't think he's going to play it. They've already said that this was like 20 years ago. So this would be another character that would be in their 40s. Although if they're not human, then like, an elf or something, it wouldn't really matter. Or a dwarf even for that. I'm still holding on to my theory that Travis is going to come in and playing a dwarf. I think it's going to be fun to see him play it, but I don't know.
That's
just me.
that's a
That's just
specific role
wanting
right there.
something.
But
Yeah.
we did talk, whether it be on Critters in Taiwan or not, we did
Mhm.
talk about how the possibility of Travis being one of the people that EXU folks were looking for.
Right. Let's see. That's
We either did it in
Rashad.
text or we did it here. I don't know which way.
Maybe one. Yeah, one of them. I don't know.
And
What is his name? Oshad Brescio. Yeah, the anger. He worked for the Loomis twins, who are dead. He died protecting them from an attack.
if you're anything like me,
they died when he would protect. He almost died too.
when Dorian got the gauntlet,
Mhm.
grabbed on his chest, I
Yep.
was sitting there just like I was
Hoping
watching
it was
the
Travis.
cast members.
Yep.
I was watching their faces,
Yep.
and I was like sitting there just like waiting for Matthew to go.
Uh-huh.
Travis, you want to
Very
step in
much.
and describe yourself?
I know.
I was waiting
Would have
for
been
that. 'Cause I
so
was like,
good. I know it would have been so good. And because I was looking at the time and I'm like, it's almost time. It's almost time. Look at the clock. I'm like,
that'd be a great place to leave it. That
be a great
cliffhanger. Like
cliffhanger,
Travis
I
just comes to the
know.
table and he says,
Oh.
"What the fuck are you doing?" And that's where we'll pick up.
And that's
next
where we'll
week.
pick up next week.
That would have been
Oh.
so amazing. I would have been in chill. I'm having chills right now. That would have been such a
chef's
fucking
kiss. I know. Yeah. I know. I think I'm almost ready to wrap this up here, dude. We're at an hour and a half now, 90 minutes. I'd like to bring up a couple of quick points
Sure.
if I can, real quick ones. I don't know if I don't want to step on your toes here.
Are you stepping on my fucking rollies right now, man?
You want to do rollies?
Let's roll.
Okay.
You're gonna win.
I don't know. Who would you roll?
I got a 4.
Oh, I got an 8. I am going to win.
Oh,
Wow.
look at you. Take it.
Okay. We finally know the names of all 5 spires.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They finally revealed the 5th spire in this episode. I mean, it's only been 6 episodes, but we've known the core spire and the lantern spire. The first spire we knew about was the Ares spire, because that's the one where Laudna and Imogen were going to. That's the one with the airship ports and the Star Point Conservatory. So that was the very first. That's episode 1, right? The first minute in, we're with them.
That's also the episode where I don't remember any of that fucking information.
Then we've got the core spire. That's the biggest spire. The lantern spire. That's the trade spire. That's the one with the markets and the root trader. They also mentioned, Matt mentioned this past episode, that the lantern spire is the only entrance to the city on foot. So all people, when they're coming to the city, they have to go inside the lantern spire. That's the main gates for the city.
I'm so glad we have this, because I don't have any of that information at the call now.
I also learned a really interesting thing too.
And maybe Kid Celtic as well. Call out to that homie.
The core spire is the biggest spire. That's where the Spire by Fire is. It has the Crook House. So the core spire being so big, it has the Crook House on the inside. That's where Ashton and FCG are staying at. That's where that crazy person that fixes FCG, that's where he lives, and where Annie, the other bard, the performer, that's where she lives. And then
they haven't been back since the first episode.
The windowed wall is on the, I didn't realize this, but the windowed wall where Imogen and Laudna are staying with Jadana, whatever her name is.
Jadana,
yeah. Jadana, where her house is, that's on the outside of the core spire. It's also where Duggar's house is on the outside of the core spire. So I thought it was really cool. It was just kind of a neat thing. Then we know the 4th spire, the Smolder spire. That's the industrial spire. We know almost nothing about it other than there's mining of metals and minerals and stuff there. And then the one that we just learned about in this past episode, the Lucent spire.
Okay, that's the name that I
Lucent.
missed in this
The
episode.
Lucent Spire. The only thing that they talked about was that this is um, where Orem was learning about Ashad Breshio, and the Loomis twins being dead. That's where they live in the residential area. So the assumption is that the Lucent Spire is all upper class, Beverly Hills kind of really nice upper class, 2%er kind of shit. That's yeah. So those are the 5 spires.
Never heard that term before.
I don't know. Core spire. Well, the 1%ers are like the top of the top, and then there's a huge chunk,
huge gap between 2% and 1%.
It's double, man. It's double.
At least.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Core
it's
spire, lantern
exponential, but
spire,
with
Aries
one that's
spire,
tricky.
smolder spire, lucent spire. We now know them all.
Yeah, now we know them all. Or
This is a fucking huge city. We may not get out of this city for 15 episodes.
Totally. I mean, that makes
yeah.
perfect sense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like
cool.
the title of this episode. We've got the letter that Ashton has that he redacted that shit before he gave it to Imogen, right?
That was fun.
Which
That's
is
a
all of the
baller
information.
movement. Baller move there, man. I love that shit.
I thought it was great. He was like, "Yeah, I'll share this with you, but I'm taking this info out.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yep.
It's not for you." And
that is that. Listen, just a quick note on that one.
Yeah.
That is you were saying earlier about Taliesin being really, really, really good at RP. That is a note to take in as a D&D player, to watch something like that and go, yeah. I don't know you well yet. Fuck you. This is all you get. No one's happy here. It's just
he doesn't trust them yet.
Love it.
Yeah, they're working together.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the
good.
fuck you are. Like, he would leave them in a moment. He would turn against them if it meant like 15 gold, probably at this point. The guy's all
maybe
about
not 15,
gold.
but
maybe
close. Yeah.
Maybe 10 platinum.
Sure. Absolutely.
Something like that. Like, unless he only likes gold for some reason instead of platinum. But I don't know. It might be monetary value. It might be the actual substance.
Totally.
Yeah. Shit, I had one immediate. Fuck.
I've got another little fun part that I enjoyed a lot was at Sedana's house. Was the retirement fruit soup thing where
fruit soup? What?
Remember she was making the fruit soup for them, cutting up plantains and stewing them, and then they all walked into the bedroom and they're eating their fruit soup, and they're sitting
soup.
Fruit
These
soup.
Suit like a
suit. No, soup. Soup. She was, and Matt's whole comment about this is D&D high fantasy here, sitting in a bedroom eating fruit soup. just I love little moments like that, little moments in the of nonsense. It's so good,
man.
Memorable moments
with Shadana. My reaction was basically Ashley's reaction when Shadana when Fresh Cut Grass spoke,
right?
And then Shadana just went, "Oh, he speaks." Like I didn't know what he said right away. He was just in that character so much, and it was adorable.
Yeah,
I had to go back to realize what he had said, and then my reaction and Ashley's reaction, like her and I had the same face the first time that I heard it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so fucking cute."
Yeah,
one of the cutest things I've seen in this goddamn campaign.
I don't know. Matt even said at the end of that whole conversation, he's like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know. I don't even know what that was.
He's part of the magic, He's RPing as well.
100%. He's like the cynic
he's
in me wants
as well.
to.
That's the word.
Yeah. The cynic in me wants to say that it's all carefully scripted and planned out and all written and all that, but I can't buy that. I'm even arguing with myself in my head. Half this part over here is yelling at you. No, they already know in advance of what's going on. And then the rest of my brain is going, shut up, dude. You don't know what you're talking. There's these two little barking voices in my own brain arguing with each other. And I'm inclined to believe the latter, the one that, no, they're making this all up not all of it, but they're making a lot of this up as they go. They're just like,
that's the magic of Mercer, right? Not knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
never says like, I don't know, how about this? He never says that. He says,
No.
what you see is, it seems to be,
Yes.
he just like shit, oh shit, I'm on the spot, but you can't see
there's a huge part of that of being prepared. There's a big aspect of that is being incredibly well prepared. And I'm sure he's got stacks of maps in front of him of where these places are, just scrawled out maps of what the city looks like, what these areas look like, what is going on in different parts. And he's probably got a pretty good idea of what some of the main characters' personalities are, but the actual nitty gritty specifics are made up on the spot.
Sure. And part of that is being prepared passively with his history of games and his history of voice acting and stuff like that. His experience
this doesn't come
D&D,
overnight.
His experience
This doesn't
with video
come overnight.
games. You know? Like he is prepared for situations like that because he's done so much in this realm that he's like, he can come up with something on the spot like that. Where I've got like 2 or 3 characters I can do, he's got fucking hundreds. It's insane.
They said crit roll stats had him at, I think at 400, 700, some ridiculous number of NPCs.
In campaign 2, dude, I think it was over 1,000 at least. I think
a gnarly number of NPCs.
You don't think so? I think I would put it over 1,000. I'd put 100
No, I don't know.
on it.
I have no idea, no clue, and I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't even take that bet because it's probably higher.
Well, I mean, we're in Taiwan. $100 means a lot different than back home.
All right, I'm getting tired. The pooch wants to. Well, yeah, look at her. Yeah, she definitely wants to go for a walk. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I gotta have a pee. It's already past 10 for me. I gotta go to bed. Gotta see a doctor tomorrow about this ear thing, man.
Yeah, man, that sucks. Get that looked at.
Yeah,
definitely. It might be something simple as an infection, which is easily cured. Hopefully, that's all
perhaps,
it is. Yeah, exactly. Somebody told me that an ear infection, this is an old farmer's thing. I shouldn't even say this because it's terrible advice. Wrap your ear in, if you get an ear infection, wrapping your ear in a piece of raw bacon for an hour or 2 can cure an ear infection. Not even joking. There is science behind this too.
Bacon.
I'm going to qualify this by saying because of the salt content, the curedness of the bacon and the salt is sterile and will draw out an infection.
The more cured the meat, the more cured you'll be.
There you go. Somebody was thinking that just popped. That's a weird one that popped into my head I probably haven't remembered that in a long time.
I'm sorry. Anyway. You and I both teach science.
I've never done this before.
I'm salt around, like, why don't I just put salt around my ear?
Because bacon's better.
Exactly. Fuck that shit. If you send me a link, maybe I'll give it a look.
No. I'm
like
sorry.
Putting bacon around your head like takes parasites out.
Listen, man,
this is Carl Pilkington type of shit.
Bacon makes everything better.
Yes, I agree with that. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, dude, you're awesome. Have a good week.
You too, man. Hey, and y'all who are watching, get in touch down there. We got a Discord that we're still trying to fucking figure out, but we also have an email down there. And don't forget to love each other. We only said that for the first episode. Remember
That's
that?
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
we can steal
let's not
that,
forget
right?
to love each other.
That's not
right.
patented, right?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Come back next week. Yeah. At any time they have an episode, we'll be here with an episode and chat your fucking ear off. Go for a walk. Take your dog for a walk. Put us on. That's what's up. And just like Kid Celtic, like send us shit, call us out.
I got a cat on my right shoulder and I got a dog at my feet. I'm in a happy place.
Yeah.
All right. Peace. I'm out.
Cheers, man.
Love you, brother.
We'll see you next week, bud. Take care.
Take it easy.